So I'm Kyle Jaeckel, running for council. I've lived in Fort. Um, I've been here for 5.5 years. I actually grew up just outside of town. Graduated from Fort Atkinson High School in 2015. Um, Running for council for a couple of reasons. Mainly just to help promote, make sure that the city's going to be good for future generations. I've got 2 younger kids at home. I want to make sure that there's a nice community for them to grow up in. Is my biggest concerns. My background is construction and farming. Work with my family business on the outskirts of town. We do a lot of excavating and grading within the community and surrounding areas. The family business knowledge helps me understand how businesses work, what we need to, what businesses need to thrive within a community. That's one of the biggest areas I've seen lacking within the community of Fort Atkinson is the growth business-wise. So I want to make sure that what the city is doing themselves is beneficial for small business development. The biggest problems are housing, business growth, and infrastructure, I'd say. The infrastructure relating to roads, utility replacement. Over the years, we've made a lot of strides in that area. The housing development with the new Banker Road complex, we're making strides there. Hopefully within the next year or two, there'll be more housing opportunities for citizens and residents. And the business economic growth is the biggest lacking area I see the community. We've got a business park that's been vacant for 25 years. There's only 4 businesses in there, 4 or 5. That we got a lot of vacant land there, but no one building, and we need to make the addresses to that to figure out why and what we can do to get businesses.
Cool.
Opportunity-wise, the Banker Road development, we've got a lot of housing opportunities to grow there. There's 70 some lots in this first phase, not count, and then there's the 87 unit apartment complex that's been approved. Business-wise, we have a lot of available land that can spur development of businesses. We need to play a role to make sure there's equal opportunities, but not over-regulating the community. That is one concern I have talked to many business owners, is there's a lot of regulation as to if a business wants to come and build here, there's too many regulations as to what their building has to be, what the landscaping has to be, in order for them to even think of building within the community. The biggest priority right now I want to see is some reduction in the rules and regulations for businesses. Being how we've made this strives in the housing area, we need to now address the business side of it so we can get more businesses to build. With Jefferson, they've thrived with the Kinkelman plant and other businesses coming to their town. Many of them I've talked to that they looked at Fort, but it was because of the regulations of Fort's building rules that they said, no, we can't build in Fort, and we moved out. So that is my biggest area of concern, is making sure that we can lower some of the regulations to the business side of building wise. Budgeting wise, I don't like to see more taxes. Nobody does, honestly. There is areas where, yes, we do need to raise taxes once in a while to cover certain aspects of the day-to-day operations of the city. My first year on, I made a big stink about some building maintenances not being performed, and we need to address that more in a budgeting stance of, roofing, all the items, roofing, heating and cooling, plumbing, areas that need regular maintenance. It seems the city has been lacking in some of those areas. I know a lot of the staff is trying. So I want to see that in the budgeting to try and make sure that we're not getting these big surprise bills when we come forward with budgeting. The biggest thing is just, making sure that we're keeping wasteful spending out of the city and making sure that the spending is really what is in need of the community. For the 2 years I've been on the council now, there isn't a whole lot of areas that you can cut. There's a lot of it I see is needed, but there are some areas that I'm sure we can, work around and find some areas to move some funds to help fund some of the other departments better that need it. That's a big concern right now. I mean, if anybody's paid attention to the city website, there's it seems to be a lot of employee turnover. The biggest biggest reason I've heard is because of lack of pay within the municipalities, which every municipality is struggling over the last 5 years because of COVID jacking a lot of pay for individuals. It seems a lot of employees are happy with the management that they are under. It just comes down to we're not paying enough for our employees to retain them. I think that's a problem everywhere when you really look at private and public sector. I hope to see, if elected, I hope to see more of businesses spurring in town. We're lacking in a retail area. So I'd like to see a lot more like clothing retail stores for everybody. And then just more business, the Clement Business Park. I'd really like to see every one of those lots sold with building plans being drawn up to be spurring within 2 years. I know there's currently a offer on the table for a lot or two in that park, but it kind of seems we haven't heard much back. I want to see plans when they come forward to buy the lots. I want to see them bought and developing fairly quickly. I could sugarcoat it and say I'm just the best candidate, but there's 4 good candidates running. I bring the youngest knowledge and experience to the table. Family background of I've grown up in this community, I've resided in the community, I work in the community. That's a big thing that people need to see, and they want to see somebody who works here, lives here, plays here. And I intend to be that person. I intend to live here the rest of my life, or at least surrounding community wise, and always kind of keep Fort really close to home. I'm going to be the one to really help make sure that your taxes stay livable, and try and keep everything at a growing pace in the community. I think that's kind of everything. I mean, I know I'm a young candidate for a lot of people in their minds, but sometimes it's the younger blood that can see things a little different and help spark new inspiration within a community. Cool. I'd appreciate the vote, and vote early or vote on April 1st.